Hey everyone, it's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my review for Brother Bear, which came out in 2003, is the 44th Disney animated movie overall, and is, I think, the 7th movie in the post-Renaissance. So this movie takes place in the Canadian Ice Age, and I say that because this movie never lets you forget that it's in Canada. And also there are woolly mammoths. It doesn't actually snow a whole lot, but there are woolly mammoths in this movie. The movie follows Kenai, who is a young, reckless, and sometimes impulsive boy as he's about to enter adulthood. He has two older brothers, but throughout the course of the movie, they get attacked by a giant bear. One of the brothers sacrifices his life to try to save the other two and stop the bear. So that brother dies, becomes a spirit up in the sky, but the bear lives. So Kenai wants to get revenge on this bear for the death of his brother, except when you actually watch this movie, the brother kind of brought that upon himself, so I don't know what to tell you. Kenai eventually finds the bear and kills it, but the spirits are really unhappy with this unjust death, so they decide, you know what, Kenai? We're gonna take your ass, turn you into a bear as punishment. Then you have to journey up to the mountain where the light touches if you want to try to turn back into a human. And along the way, he's accompanied by a young cub who got separated from his mother. Gee, I wonder if that will work its way into the movie. And two Canadian moose who have no reason to be in this movie at all. So much like with Treasure Planet, I didn't see this movie when it came out in theaters. I never bothered to watch it until now. But unlike Treasure Planet, I remember the trailers for this movie vividly. I remember watching the trailers for Brother Bear and thinking, yeah, I'll pass. It doesn't look that good. And this is a Disney movie that I never really heard that much word of mouth on. I never knew if it was considered to be a good movie or a bad movie. So when it came time to eventually watch and review Brother Bear, it was pretty much exactly the movie I feared it would be when I saw those trailers back in 2002 or 2003. It was a 2003 release, but I imagine trailers were playing as far back as 2002. And the funny thing about this movie is that it has a pretty decent opening. The first 24 minutes is nothing spectacular. It's nothing that we haven't seen before in a Disney movie, but it's perfectly accessible. It's got beautiful animation, and I bought the relationship between these three brothers, how the older ones are more mature and level-headed, while the younger one is adventurous and sometimes causes trouble and just often annoys the hell out of his older brothers. So in that sense, if you modified the end of those first 24 minutes, I think it could have worked as a pretty cool short film, especially considering that the aspect ratio in those first 24 minutes is completely different than the rest of the movie. So again, nothing too spectacular, but I found the first act of the movie to be pretty engaging. And then once Kenai eventually transforms into a bear, the movie just goes downhill, and it is everything that I feared it would be when I saw the trailers. And again, I was about 11, 12 years old when I saw those trailers. And even back then, at 11, 12 years old, I could look at that trailer and go, yeah, this looks like crap, and the rest of the movie is pretty much crap. I mean, it's beautiful and colorful looking crap, but crap nonetheless. Kenai is voiced by Joaquin Phoenix, and he does a serviceable job, nothing too special, but Joaquin Phoenix usually gives a good performance in most movies that he's in. The young cub that accompanies him on this journey, Coda, is pretty obnoxious. The best way I can describe Coda in this movie is imagine if you took Simba from The Lion King, young Simba, and crossed him with Donkey from Shrek. He's that little kid character that thinks he's tough, tries to act cool, but he also talks non-stop, and unlike Donkey, Coda is not funny in the slightest. He just gets on your goddamn nerves. And if Coda failing to be funny in this movie wasn't bad enough, then we've got two Canadian moose in this movie, one voiced by Rick Moranis and another voiced by Dave Thomas. And apparently these two characters were based off another duo that both Rick Moranis and Dave Thompson voiced, Bob and Doug. And these two have no reason to be in the movie whatsoever. The whole joke with these two moose is that, hey, they're Canadian. They say a lot and a boot. Isn't that funny? I'm like, no, that's actually not funny. It gets old really quickly. And I just imagine Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5 watching this movie and going, we don't even talk like that. and just getting really pissed off. I said this for my Cars 3 review, I will say it for this review here. This will be one of the few times that you ever hear anyone bring up Grand Theft Auto 5 in a Disney review. But to be serious, these two characters just feel like a waste of time. They don't add anything to the story themselves. They get shoehorned at every opportunity, and their jokes just aren't funny. Again, the big joke is, hey, they're Canadian, and that's really it. Now, much like with Tarzan, this movie does have a bunch of songs by Phil Collins. And in Tarzan, those songs were great. This time, however, Phil Collins feels very out of place. There's one sequence in the movie that's the big emotional high point when Kenai realizes that the bear he just killed was actually Koda's mother. So he has to tell Koda straight away, look, I was a human, I killed your mother. But it's all undercut by a song from Phil Collins, as Phil Collins is explaining what's going on as if the audience is too stupid to understand what's happening. In a way, it's kind of insulting and undercuts the entire emotional impact of this realization. And much like with Treasure Planet, the song is just way too on the nose that you expected Zack Snyder to be directing this sequence. I don't have much else to say about Brother Bear. It's pretty much everything I thought it would be from the trailers. Just cutesy, not all that inspiring, pretty dull, and featuring jokes that just don't hit at all. Don't waste your money. It looks pretty, again, and if you just took the first 24 minutes and cut the rest of the movie, I think this would have been a very passable Disney short film. But as a feature film, it's not terrible, but it's pretty bad. And there you go, that's my review for Brother Bear. I really didn't like it, but I imagine with the next Disney movie, I might be looking at Brother Bear soon and going, yeah, the movie's pretty good. Because the next movie is the one that I have been dreading to review ever since I started this series, and that is Home on the Range, which I will not be reviewing next week. And the reason for that is, and I'm not making this up, I'm going to be out of town next week, so I did not plan this at all. This is not an excuse to try to get out of reviewing Home on the Range, because I'm still going to review it. In fact, the week I get back home, I'm probably going to have to do the worst Disney double feature imaginable, Home on the Range and Chicken Little, so yeah, this is going to be a rough one. So maybe I do need a week off from reviewing Disney movies before I actually get into these two. Again, I apologize that I won't be reviewing Home on the Range next week. I seriously didn't plan for me to be out of town the week I'm supposed to be reviewing it, but again, I'll make up for it by reviewing that movie and Chicken Little in the same week. So y'all better be appreciative for the things I do for you. Until then, though, I want to know what you guys think about Brother Bear. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one. Hello everyone, I just wanted to say thank you all for watching my review for Brother Bear. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, go check out my Twitch channel, and support me on Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day, and take care of yourselves.